Joe Rogan Experience is officially dead, dude. It's dead. Joe Rogan's the biggest AI slut out there, okay? All these tech oligarchs are just taking advantage of his body and stuff. See, I'm not trying to slut shame Joe Rogan. I'm not. No, I'm not. You know what I mean? But, like, it just seems like in the past months / years, he's just, proud of his slutty behavior.
Perplexity. We have a sponsor. We have an AI sponsor.
I use Perplexity.
Yeah, it's really good. Let's ask Perplexity. Why is he...
Good question.
Ask Perplexity, right? I think that's the number. Put that into Perplexity.
Do they really?
I read that. Let's put that into Perplexity. Is that true? That might be another Russian hoax.
So Perplexity is like a AI search engine that apparently Mr. Rogan's affiliated with. I don't know, dude. I don't know. But this episode came out recently with Theo Von, who actually made it big at the Joe Rogan Experience. He kind of undressed him. Not physically, he didn't, two naked bros in a podcast. Even though, kind of like, if you think about it, like, if you want to have like a very, interpersonal connection, why not be naked? Two naked bros. You're vulnerable. You can, what? I don't know. But Theo Von came in, and I feel like Theo, he came in with a purpose. I don't subscribe to the notion that he came in to try to attack Joe Rogan. No. But he came in with questions that he wanted to ask in front of millions of people. And obviously a lot of these questions rattled Joe Rogan to the point that it was very noticeable. It was very noticeable that you could talk about certain subjects, but if you bring up anything that he's not aligned with, he will push back. And this is a guy who's notorious for giving, soft massage interviews, whatever the hell, softball interviews.
Now there's a lot of like billionaire pals that our government protects and stuff, but back then...
You really think so?
I don't know.
I don't know either. That's what makes me nervous. I don't know.
I mean, they just had that thing that came out about the Trump Epstein thing the other day. That whole thing's just a kickball at this point, I feel like.
Bro, have you ever seen that video of me and Tim Dillon where Tim Dillon is laying out the scandal that took place in, like, was it the 1970s, Jamie?
Master deflector. The fuck you mean? Like, he's out here playing. He swatted that ball down. Like, he averages 2.1 blocks per episode.
How much longer does Israel let us stay alive, do you think? That's the big question.
Why were they...
What did you say? Is that AI?
What are you saying?
That's Sora?
Fuck are you saying?
I didn't say anything.
What are you saying?
Huh? Talking about Israel Adesanya.
Oh, well, he loves you. Don't worry about it.
Good call.
Fuck are you saying, son?
This whole thing's all bullshit now. It's all BS.
All right, so you can talk about, at the Joe Rogan Experience, mythical aliens, lost civilizations. You can talk about, corrupt governments and politicians. But God forbid you talk about Israel. This is where you draw the line. This is where Joe Rogan draws the line. He's like, enough. I can't. Okay. Noted.
You think people find a sense of purpose these days, Joe? Because it certainly feels like the fabric of like some of America. It used to feel like that gave us a lot of purpose, right? And some of that feels like it's not there anymore. Do you feel like that's a true statement, or what do you think?
Well, I think this is also part of the problem with social media is that we feel that way. We still have our neighbors. We still have our friends. We still have the places we go. We still have the mothership. We still go to nice restaurants. You still hang out with your friends and watch the game. You're still like alive on Earth.
Rogan's been saying this for like, you got to get off social media, bro. You got to get off social media. Media's not good for you. Even though that's where everybody watches his shitty podcasts and social media, YouTube. So, it is what it is. I don't know. A sense of purpose. I feel like, nowadays when somebody loses their sense of purpose, they have to go to the comedy mothership. For me, I live in Maryland. It's kind of far away from me, so I kind of have no purpose right now in life. But, maybe I could do my Mecca trip. Maybe I could do my Mecca trip and go to freaking Austin, Texas. I don't know, dude. It's the new Mecca. When I'm down and out and, I'm freaking broke because eggs cost $47 and my AI girlfriend got impregnated by Elon. Yeah, maybe, when that happens to me, yeah, I need to go to freaking Austin, Texas just to get a glimpse of the new Mecca. And yes, Elon will find a way to impregnate your AI girlfriend, dude. Trust me, he'll do it. He'll do it. You're going to be like, what the fuck? This baby going to come out looking like a fucking...
A lot of these shooters, like people that have like, these young guys who become, what's it called when you see stuff online and it makes you more...
Radicalized.
Radicalized, right? how are some of these companies not legally liable? Like if you go to a restaurant, right?
Right.
And somebody poisons you, you could take something up with that restaurant. But these entities like these social media places, like if they radicalize someone and they go shoot somebody or something, there's no like accountability for the company. It doesn't, you know what I'm saying?
Well, the company's not radicalizing people, and I think it's a real danger what you're saying, because you know what you're saying is you're opening the door to censorship. Because anybody's definition of what radicalizes people is it's very variable, right? Like during COVID, I could have been considered someone who radicalizes people against taking a COVID vaccine.
I mean, I don't know, dude.
While we're human, only so much sand left in that hourglass. Where the humans are on the way out. I know a lot of people hate it when Peter Thiel says it. Like, Peter Thiel is a terrible person. He's evil. Do
you think he is?
No. I think he's just telling you the truth.
All right, so this is where he draws the line. Israel and defending the Antichrist and freaking Peter Thiel. You know what I mean? Peter Thiel's the guy who goes around doing lectures on the Antichrist. Not just one. 3-part lectures on the Antichrist. And that's where he defends him. What's going on? No, seriously, like what is going on? Right? You can't hide behind these figures or these governments. It's just being too noticeable now. Look, am I wrong or am I wrong? I'm always wrong. I could be wrong, you know what I mean? But like, what the hell? Credit to Theo. I think Theo's hilarious, even though I do disagree with some of the stuff that some of the people he's brought on his show. But to each their own. I also feel like he does also give softball interviews, but, he learned from the best. Can't be mad at him. But at the same time, I keep thinking to myself, like, Theo's asking questions that the general public is asking, and Joe Rogan is just so disenfranchised, just so out of touch that he's dishing out answers that the public is no longer just digesting. This is just like, what are you giving me this slop for? Like, you know what I mean? He's just dishing out slop.
You would prefer the human race to endure, right? You're hesitating.
Yeah, well,
yes?
I don't know. I would
This is a long hesitation. This is a long hesitation.
What is that? What is that? Is that thing living? You're going to defend that?
You think human beings should survive? And he had like this long pause.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
And then the interviewer was like, the answer is yes. The answer is yes. You think human beings should, which is not how you're supposed to do an interview. Well, at least not how I do it. If you watch my podcast I did with him, is these long-ass stammers where he's like, everything he does, he wants to be very careful before he answers it. So he wants to consider.
Now that's a cuck. I say AI slut. No, I think it's just like the AI cuck. Like, are we cooked or are we cooked? I think it's one or the other. I think we're just cooked, man. And it sucks. I'm only 32. Fuck. I feel like I'm losing my sense of purpose right now. I have either two options. I go to the comedy mothership or I pull up a Nick Fuentes episode. It's one or the other. Or I could just, play Marvel Rivals and be a dick and talk shit. I don't know, dude.
That company Palantir that was doing all that crazy stuff in Gaza, in Gaza, and they were like, running
what were they doing?
All the drones and stuff like this, allegedly. If you want to,
what are you talking about? What are you saying they did?
That they had were compiling data on people that were there, and they were operating a lot of the drones in the sky that also had weapons attached to them.
Is this horseshit? Is it real? Jamie's not even willing to talk on camera. He's he's giving
I'll
me
be
winks
quiet,
and nods.
Dan. Annoyed about it all the time.
Against that.
I'm just saying I have.
Listen.
Okay. Sorry.
You're right. However, China's making drones.
So this is like an episode that I feel like is going to go down in not history, because Elon Musk is going to probably delete this episode. You know what I mean? This is an episode that it's starting to get to his base, in my opinion. Theo Von, a guy who is beloved. I mean, I'll toss myself in there. I'm a fan of Theo. I am, even though I disagree with some of his, like I said previously. I don't care. Who cares? But I am a fan of Theo. I think he's hilarious. I think he's genuine at times, most of the times. But, you know, in doing so in this thing, like one of the most genuine people of all time, to a certain degree, came in and accidentally exposed Joe Rogan. Credit must go out to Theo, man. He asked the questions that a lot of people within the Rogan sphere are afraid to ask. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. I'm sorry. You know, the only other person that kind of comes close is Tim Dillon. But even if that, Tim Dillon will, you know, you kind of like, you know, he'll ask the questions and he'll back up and be like, oh, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right, Rogan. Maybe you're right. Maybe, you know, Trump's not in the MC files. Maybe you're right. You know, no. I feel like in the future, like, you know, like when Theo's like 60 years old, he's going to come out with a special, and then he's going to come out with like, you know, that this joke is like, you're like, yeah, man, I knew this guy one time, you know, from Austin, Texas. You know, he unfortunately died. You know, his flying saucer car hit an embankment. But, you know, he was cool. He was all right, dude. You know what I mean? He was all right. You know, he used to take ice cold baths and stuff like that with his squirrels. That was horrible. But, you know, I feel like this is just the beginning with Joe Rogan. I feel like he's just dead. If you look at the comments again, the like to dislike ratio, it's out in the open. It's just a propaganda show. He's, you know, alpha brain, perplexity. If you see it in his notes, you see it. He's always saying this show is sponsored by perplexity. Defending the Antichrist. I really can't, man. He's dropped so low, and I'm here for it because I have no purpose in life. If you also have no purpose in life, please like and subscribe. Maybe we can go together to the Mecca in Austin, Texas. I don't know. Take care, everybody. And don't let Elon have sex with your AI girlfriend. At least, I don't know. He'd probably find a way. Peace.
The population,
we're
increasing
better
the
than this. That's what I'm saying. We're better than this. Yes. We have all this elected officials and these people that we thought were like us.
Sociopaths.
When does that end?
My suspicion is it ends when AI starts sorting government. We're probably going to use AI with government to prevent this kind of fuckery that we see on an everyday basis.